Hi guys, I am going to try and go live on my computer since the phone really doesn't want to work. So I'm going to use this instead. So bear with me here for a second. Hopefully this works. So I don't know if I'll be able to see your comments or not. So check in with me so I can see when you're here. And then I'm just gonna, I still need to quickly do my shares. So let me just do that really quickly so people can find us since we're behind, since everything's happening here. Okay. So I really can't see you because I had to click off of that. So I'm just quickly going to grab this link. And let's see if this will work here. Why is it doing that? Just get out of this. Not working. Okay. So today we're going to be making a burp cloth. Well, actually 3 different versions of a burp cloth, and I've got 3 different versions, and if in the descriptions you'll find the link to the blog post where you can get the supply. I've linked the supplies and everything we're going to be using today. So that's there if you want to see it. And then, sorry, I've just got one more and then I'll be ready. So today I'm using my computer, so hopefully that won't cut out on me to do when we do our lives, but I'm not sure at this moment how to turn it around, so I might be backwards from what you're used to seeing of me because, because I just whipped it on when I usually have everything ready to go on my phone, so it's probably backwards, but okay, I hit post on my last one. So I'm done with that. So let me pull you back up here. All right. Hi, everybody. Oh, everybody's here. Good. Hi, Randy and Paula, Priscilla, Jennifer, Kim, Andy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Diane. Oh my gosh, Diane, you're up so early. Hi, Kathy, Gina. Hi, Zila. Did I say that right? Hi, Sherry and Karen. Okay, hopefully this works today, guys, because I'm on my computer, and I hope that it doesn't cut out. I don't know if the quality is as good, but I'm hopeful that this will work. So today we're going to make some burp cloths. I've got 3 different options I want to show you for some fun. Hi, Paula. For some fun detailing on these burp cloths. So the first thing, oh, let me mute this. Hello a 3rd time, Cindy. Thanks for staying with me. So guys, if you don't have notifications turned on, in this video, you should be able to turn on notifications for when I go live. That way, if Facebook is acting funny and it knocks me out, you'll be able to, it'll tell you again once I restart the video, because sometimes, I mean, I tried and it wouldn't even really do anything on my phone today. So, I mean, it was just 1 second and it would pop off. So hopefully this computer works, but turn on notifications so if we do get cut off and I start again, you'll be able to pop right back in to watch the end of the video. And then like on Wednesday, I just put, I put everything onto YouTube so you can find it. It's all together on there. So you can watch the whole video all the way through. So the first thing we're gonna need is, I've got these are cloth diapers, and these are they're Gerber, and I just got them at Target, but I've linked in my blog post so you can get them on Amazon, easy. So I've linked them in there. These are the, I don't like this, just the regular 3-fold. These are the premium ones, and I don't know, it's hard to see, but right here in the middle, there's a nice padded part. If you just get the 3-fold, it's not as nice and padded here in the middle, but that's the one I like to use. It's real thick here in the middle, not the same as this up here. So that's what we've got for that. And then you'll want a piece of fabric, and the fabric should be, you cut it to 19.5 by 5.5. So it will look like this. And then I've already done this because I hate making you guys watch me press. I've just pressed the edges under by about 1/4 of an inch. You can see there. So all the way around, all 4 sides are under by 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so, and I've done that 3 times. I've got 3 pieces of that. And then this one is a fleece. So just to show you a little bit different, a flannel, not fleece. I always do that and get it mixed up. This is a flannel. So this is a really nice soft flannel if you want to do that. I don't use flannel as often because personally I don't love that it tends to pill and just get a little weird. So I like the way cotton works better. But if you want something soft and it's for baby, and I mean, they're not going to use it for that long. I mean, flannel's really nice too. That's a personal preference. I don't use it as often, but it works good for this project. So there's that. So I've got 1 piece of flannel and 2 pieces of cotton for this that I'm going to use today. And then we're going to do 3 different versions. One version is going to have a lace detailing. So I've got this ribbon that I don't even know what the ribbon was, but I'm just going to cut it in half and actually just use half of each of this. So lace ribbon is good. Then for another version, I've got some rickrack, which is just some plain old black rickrack. And then for a third version, we have another strip of fabric that is, good morning, Lucy. Another strip of fabric, and this one is 2 inches by 18 inches. You could do it a little shorter if you don't like a really thick ruffle, but I did 2 by 18, and then I've just pressed under one edge here again by about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. Okay, and I've done that. That's twice. I've got 2 of those. So that's the supplies. And for today, I'm actually going to use pins compared to my clips because it's just harder to clip in the middle. You can't clip in the middle of something like this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let's just do, I'm thinking we'll do the one with the rickrack first. So what we're going to do, good morning, Marianne. So grab one of your cloth diapers, and then you're going to, let's see, I think I can show you here. So then we're going to you're going to line it up, and I kind of use that padded portion that I was telling you about. It's right here in between my fingers. I'm at the edges of it. I kind of use that to be my guide. You'll see the fabric is cut wider than, there's actually a little line, if you can see, right, there's 2 lines right here. The fabric is cut wider than that. I don't use that because it annoys me that there's a padding in here that's wider than that. So I go based on the padding, because when you fold it, it's going to fold to the padding and not to these lines like this. So I like it to be most of this portion that's folded. And you see, if we did it this way, the fabric would be right in there. So that's why I made it a little bit wider. And I try and center it right there on that, sorry. And I try and center it right there on that padding, I'm going to call it. I mean, because it is technically a cloth diaper, so it's the portion that's, I lost the word, soaks it up. It's more absorbent. There's the word. Yay! I know my kids are off school too, so but I let them have a little bit of video game time so I could do this. So I'm just going to pin, and I'm not going to pin in too many places because it annoys me and I don't really like to pin, but I'm doing it. So I'm just pinning around, and then make sure you've got it folded under. Make sure that your seam has stayed under. I'm just going to do a couple pins to hold it in place. And for some reason, I'm not super centered, so I'm going to switch it just a little bit. Hello, Linda. I'm going to just scoot it this way a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're pinning it in place. like so. Okay, so I've got it pinned, and I'm just going to use a straight stitch and go all the way around all 4 edges for this one. And sorry, like I said, it's going to look backwards. I need to figure out if there's a way to change the settings when I use my computer compared to my phone, because in my phone I can mirror it. Good morning, Judy, but I'm not sure. I didn't play around with it because I was already so late to start my video. So I'm just going to go all the way around with a straight stitch. I mean, as close to the edge as I possibly can get. So. Oh, am I the right way? Okay, maybe it does it automatically because I know on the phone it mirrors it. Thanks for the info. So you could do these without any of the embellishment that we're going to do. Things mad. Hold on. You could do them without any embellishment. What are you doing, machine? Why are you being crazy? Oh, the bobbin. It's always the bobbin, guys. See? Always the bobbin. If your machine's not working, it's the bobbin. Guaranteed. Always. Always, always. Okay. Let me fix this really quickly. Somehow got all twisted on here. What is going on? There we go. All right. Nothing a good rethreading can't fix. So I was saying you can do these without any embellishments and just do them with the fabric on the burp cloth, and they're totally cute. But I wanted to show you a few ways you could zhuzh it up a little bit if you were so inclined to add a little extra. And like I made a few actually for the blog post that I didn't do anything special to. But for some reason when I do girly stuff, I like to add a little, you know, a little lace or a little rickrack. But for the boy ones I made, I didn't add anything. I just did the fabric. So, yeah. All right, now we're all set. Maybe it's, yay, it's nice and happy now. Yeah, I thought it was just sounding weird because it was thick, but it was just mad. Who knows? Who knows why these things happen? And especially when you've been sewing all morning and then all of a sudden it just randomly throws a fit. My machine that I'm using is a really beginner, super basic. It's a Brother, like Brother XL 3750 that I got like 8 years ago at Target. So you can, this is just a super basic machine. See, it also doesn't like this thick area here. Okay. So now we've gone all the way around. I do need, I mean, I'm sure I have a pin cushion. I just usually just toss them back in here. Okay, so we've gone all the way around. We've just attached it with a straight stitch all the way down. So for the next bit, let me just find it. So then we're just going to, I'm just going to add a strip of rickrack. Well, I think I'll just add it at the bottom. At both edges, the short edges. So I'm going to trim out my thread here. We've got a bunch of it. Okay. So I'm just going to, well, I like to kind of, first I'm going to just trim my rickrack a little bit because it's a little bit old and mad. Like so. And then for this you could use clips. Clip it on because we're doing the edge. What materials? So all we've got here is, this is just, it's actually a cloth diaper. And if you look in the description of the video, there is the a link for the written tutorial, which I've also linked all the supplies. So we've got a cloth diaper and we've got some, this one has flannel. I said the right word, guys. This one has flannel and some rickrack. And then the next one we're gonna do is just cotton. So I'm just clipping this on, and I folded the edges under of the rickrack because it gets real frayed. So I've just folded the edge under so it makes sense, and then I'm going to clip it in place. What I mean when I say it so it makes sense, so that it fits on a curve. So the curves match up a bit. And then I'm just going to clip. So we're just going to clip it right like that. Oh, and that one, oh no, it's right. It's just off the edge. It's not exactly how I want it. Let's see. Let's fix it. There we go. Okay, so then it's clipped, and then I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch and go right over the top of the rickrack. Okay? I'm getting messages. Can't talk right now, sorry. I'm more distracted with my computer than my phone, because on my phone I just can turn everything off. Okay. So, that's a long message, a long note. All right, so now I'm just switching up to black on the top. So now I'm using black on the top so that I can just go over this top. So I'm gonna start here, not quite at the top, and then I'm just gonna back stitch up to that once I've got it started, because I don't want the edge to come funky. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this in place, and I'm gonna back stitch up to the beginning. And then I'm just going to zigzag my way along the rickrack. And then when you get to the end, you're going to want to back stitch again. So you really want to back stitch 2 times to hold that in place. Okay. So let me show you what we've got. So here's our rickrack that we've got sewn in place, and it's on there pretty good. We've just back zigzag stitched over the top, and then you'll do the same thing. You'll do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to move on though to the next one, because now you get it, right? You get that. So I want to do another embellishment for you guys to see. That's so funny, Michelle, that you asked, because I just did a blog post, and I will put the comment on here. Well, I won't actually. My mom comes back sometimes and comments on questions like that for me once my video's over. I will tell you, I've got in there the best one, and it's there's lots and lots of machines that are targeted to kids, and the spoiler alert, I don't really recommend any kid machines. There's one machine, there's the Janome. There's a Janome one, I think it's called the Lightning, that is the best okay machine, I guess I'll say, but my favorite machine for kids sewing, and it's not, I mean, it's not a super expensive machine, but it's just a regular adult machine. It's actually a Brother. It's called the CS6000i, and it's about $150. So, I mean, it's a little pricey, but no more pricey than buying your kid like a, you know, like a video game console or something. But it's got, I'll leave you the blog post. I'll throw it in for you, but it's got a speed control, which is awesome for the little ones. And it's got, it alarms if you leave this foot up, which is catastrophic when you're first starting and you leave it. I left this up so many times when I was first starting. So it's got an alarm, like it tells you left it up, so it won't let you sew without it, which is nice. There's other things too, I can't remember, but I'll throw the blog post in for you. I like that one. And it's, I mean, that's a really low price machine. It's good for adults too. So that's the one I like. And I'll throw the blog post in so you can see. And that Janome is in there too in that blog post. Those are the two that I would recommend if you have somebody who's learning to sew. Not just kids, beginners too. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't really think there's a kid machine. I think there's a machine for beginners. And I don't like the kid machines. Okay, so for the next one, I'm grabbing my cotton. I've got another one of my cloth diapers. And I think we'll do the lace on this one. So I'm actually going to cut the lace in half because it has a nice halfway point here in the middle. So I'm just going to cut right down that middle portion. To cut it apart. So I've trimmed it to the length of the long side here. And now I'm going to cut the lace apart. If you have one that's thinner, if you have a lace that's thinner, or you just wanted to use the whole thing, you could. You don't have to do this part. I just like this shorter. This is about an inch now, which is what I wanted, which was what my plan was. So then I'm going to get my fabric lined up where I want it. We could do this in 2 steps. You could do this one step where you attach the lace first. So if you're hesitant or if you're newer and don't want to do all these layers at the same time, take this off and just top stitch right here and attach the lace and then put it down and sew it in place like we did the other one. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line the lace up along the edge, and I'm going to make sure that my fold is coming under too, and then I'm just going to pin. I'm going to pin it in place if I can get a pin like so, and I'm going to pin down the length as I go. So just line the lace up, and then you can lay the fabric down and pin it in place. Do a few more pins to make sure it stays. You're just wanting to make sure that the lace is even. And I'm catching that fold as well. I'm going to do 2 more. One more on this side. Okay. And so then I'll show you, this is what it will look like once it's pinned. So I've got the lace pinned down, and I've got that edge is still turned under. Then I'm just going to turn it around and do the same on this side. Get rid of all this stuff. And then, so I'm just going to pull this up. Lay the lace down. You can press these if the wrinkles are getting in your way. If they're making it hard to lie things down, you can press the diaper first. Okay, just try to make the laces even on either side. I still have a massive blister, you guys, from the other day when I burned myself on the glue gun. Like, I played it off. Maybe you didn't realize, like, I burnt the ever-loving daylights out of my finger. That's why I use a sewing machine and not a glue gun, because yeah, not pretty. But I hope it's still working for you guys. Is everybody still there? I just want to make sure that maybe this is what we need to do from now on until Facebook fixes itself, is use the computer. So it's kind of quiet right now, though. Kind of quiet. Oh, it did that again to me. I didn't even touch it. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I missed your questions. Okay. I just pressed the cotton under by about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I'll show you. I've got another one over here that I can show you on. Yeah, and back to the sewing machine thing, if you are worried that your kiddo is going to lose interest, there, are cheaper alternatives, but I really think they're more likely to lose interest if they don't know how to use their machine, and it's hard, or it gets stuck, or basically a cruddy machine, I think, will make them lose interest faster. I mean, I'm not saying you should go out and buy them a $500, $600 machine, but $150 is fairly reasonable for something that hopefully they'll learn and enjoy. So here we've got it all pinned on, and now I'm just going to switch back. I should have done the rickrack one last, so I didn't have to switch my thread again. Switch back to my neutral. And you can use a fun coordinating like pink. I just pretty much tend to leave this pan in unless it is not updating me, guys, with the comments. Like I'm having to scroll to see your comments. It's frustrating. Okay, we're all good. So, taking classes are a great idea, and both that Janome that I mentioned and the both the Janome and the Brother are lightweight, so you could take them to class with the kiddos or for yourself. They're nice and light, so you can carry them to class. Good. If you get a really heavy machine, oh my goodness. All sorts of things are happening. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go back to a straight stitch. And then I'm just going around the edge as close to the edge as I can. Turn and keep going around. Guys, that's so annoying. It's not showing the comments. So I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's just not showing me comments unless I scroll. Just one more thing that will distract me. I don't need any more distractions, Facebook. You could use a walking foot if you have trouble with it running at all. Slipping, I guess is a better word. This feels all sorts of crooked. Okay. one problem with these cloth diapers, like to, they're wonky. They can be a little bit wonky, so it makes things look a little bit crooked, but it's all right. Okay, so then we'll show you. Let me just trim my threads here. And you can see we've got our lace added to the edges, which is really fun and pretty. It looks really nice. So there's our lace version. I just like to fold them. I think they're fun. Like, they're so pretty. Isn't that nice? Pretty little burp cloth. Here's our first one with the rickrack. So this would be a fun little set to do. So you have the rickrack and the lace. Let's do one more. I think we'll just do half because I don't want to, be too repetitive. So for the last one, this is the same. I've just pressed the edges under by 1/4 of an inch. It's the same size as before. I'm gonna do this way better, I think. And you can see, like, before I've even started, this edge is super crooked. So that just is what it is. So it's gonna be, it might not be perfection because we're starting out with something that's not perfect. But we just know that going in, and it doesn't really bother me. So I don't mind. I'm just going to pin. So I'm just going to pin, for this one, I'm just going to pin along the edges. The long edges. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. That's what I've done for all of them, is pin along the edges. So I'm just pinning along the long edges. And then we're going to add a ruffle. So, disclaimer, there's about 800 million ways to do a ruffle. So I fully understand that you might do your ruffles a different way, and I support you. I am happy for you to do them that way. This is an easy way that's quick. And this is the way I like to do them. One of the ways. There's lots of ways to do them. I don't mind doing them another way too. So I'm going to take that piece that we got earlier. It's 18 inches long, 2 inches wide, and I pressed it under by 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I'm just going to zigzag stitch this section down. If you don't want this part showing, add an extra 1/2 inch and then fold it one more time and zigzag it down. That way this isn't a raw edge. This is a nice finished edge, and then you can zigzag so you won't have any potentially any threads here coming off. I'm just going to do it like this, and I'm just going to zigzag that down. So I try to zigzag over the raw edge. That way it'll hold any potential threads in. Kind of like serging. If you have a serger and know what you're doing, you can serge the end. It works for me. As long as it works for you, do what you gotta do. Okay. So I'll show you. I've just tried to catch the edge there of the fabric, so that way it won't fray, but it's still held down. I'll just do this other one just in case I change my mind and decide. I guess we'll do both sides. I don't know. See, I'm already undecided. Okay, so to start out, we are going to, I'm just going to start at one end. Again, sorry guys, I can't really see your comments. And then I'm going to just fold this edge under. And you know what? I'm just going to sew it in place. So I'm going to fold this edge under too along the side and just zigzag that in place as well, just to keep it, give it a nice clean edge. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Sorry, I changed my mind. I decided. Okay, now I'm ready. So this is what we've got. We've got this long strip. We finished 3 of the edges. I'm going to start on the bottom here and take one of my strips that we've just created. Let me trim my threads here. The machine was getting cranky at me. Okay, I'm going to pin this here. I'm going to line up these 2 edges, okay? I'm going to tuck this under the bottom, and I'm just going to line up the edges here. So I've got my ruffle strip that I just created, or my strip that will be the ruffle, and it's lined up along the edge here. So this is one straight, clean, finished edge. And I'm just going to pin that in place. And then, since it's a little bit hard to see when I'm sewing, I'm just gonna, I'm start a stitch here, just barely, and then I'm just going to gather as I sew. Gather a little bit like this, and then sew. Then I'm gonna gather a little bit more, and then sew, and then gather a little bit more, like that, and then sew. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to gather it until these 2 edges line up, okay? So that's what I'm going to do as I'm sewing. And then I'm going to go down this edge, and then I'm going to throw another one, the other side in over here, go down that edge, and then finish along this side. So since it's hard to see, I wanted to just show you that's what it's going to end up looking like, something kind of like that. Not quite, because I'm not holding it anymore. Kind of like this. Where's the part? I can't. It's going to look like that, basically. So maybe I'll scoot you a little closer. I don't want to bounce too much. Bounce with me. Okay. And I totally did it on the wrong side because I like to sew like this. So scratch everything I just said. Not really. I'm just going to start on this side instead. So let me just pin that down. Okay, so I'm starting like this, and I'm going to use a straight stitch. Back to my straight stitch. Okay, and then I'm just going to gather, gather, sew, gather, gather, sew. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's what's happening here. Come on, let me in. Okay, and before that, I'm going to do like a little back stitch to hold it in place. And yes, my machine's not going to be happy because there's a lot of layers. So then my needle's down. I'm just going to gather a bunch or some. The key with this is just trying to gather an even amount along the whole way. But I'm not super picky. Then I'm just going to gather, gather, gather. And the other key is trying to keep a straight line down here So trying to keep the fabric not pulling too much up, but pulling this way instead of up, if that makes sense when you're gathering. And if you gather too much, it's going to push those other ones out a bit. Okay, and then when you get close to the end, you're just going to kind of have to shove whatever's left in. And just make sure you're covering up whatever all that raw bit. Okay. And I'm just back stitching at the corner a bit. So now you can see we've got our fun little ruffle. Yay. And then I'm going to go all the way down the side here. And we'll do it one more time. So like I said, the ruffle is totally frivolous and unnecessary, but it's super fun and I like it. So. But I probably wouldn't do it on a boy. I don't know if that's gender discrimination or what, but I don't know. I just wouldn't do one on a boy one. I like to do the fun frilly stuff on the girl stuff. So, okay. Like I said, I'm not ignoring you. It's not showing me the real-time comments. I have to scroll, so I don't want to get yelled at by too many people for getting distracted. Okay, so now I'm just lining up the edge. So I've lined up the edge of my ruffle piece, and I'm going to, before I finish sewing down this edge, down this straight edge, I've lined it up so that it'll sew it in place right on the edge there. Back stitch the corner just a bit to hold that in place, and then we're ready to turn. And we're going to turn and repeat our ruffle. You could do this ahead of time, like pin all these rather than doing it as you go like I do. If you're more worried about making it super even, or if you're just hesitant to do it while it's in the sewing machine, just do this beforehand and pin it in place. That's totally fine. Sometimes it wants to, there we go, peek out. And if you don't want as much ruffle, just make your strip shorter. I did 18 inches, which is 3 times the length of this side. So you could do just 10, do twice the length, and it won't be quite as ruffly. So there's lots of options. Just back stitching. My machine doesn't like, there go all my clips, all the layers. So that's why it's so loud. Go down the last side here. More threads. You see what's happening here. Okay. Did I say birth cloth? Burp cloth? I don't know. Burp cloth. Okay, so then here we've got our ruffles, these the cutest. I love the little ruffles. So like I said, there's lots and lots of ways you could do a ruffle. You don't have to do it this way. I like it because it's easy. There's not a lot of thought, and I never have had much success with like doing 2 lines and then pulling a basting stitch and then pulling. I just like to do it this way. This is my preferred method. Use whatever method you want. This you could do this on the bottom of some dish towels for another gift idea. That would be really fun and easy. Just to add to some existing, buy some pre-made dish towels and add some ruffles, to match whatever decor. Or for little girl's bathroom, little ruffle towels would be super cute. So here's this one. Let me move you back down so you can see. So here's our little ruffle. I feel like the camera's a little bit laggy. Might be the computer. So here we've got our 3 burp cloths. Okay, we've got, and I didn't finish this one. I'm gonna put rickrack here too. We've got rickrack with the flannel. This one turned out nice, and it's nice and soft. Let's see if I can. It's really nice, super soft, which I like. We've got the cotton with the lace. This one is really fun and cute, and this lace is pretty soft, so I'm not too worried about the kiddos. And then we've got the cotton with a cotton ruffle at the bottom. You could ruffle a ribbon as well. That would also work. So then you don't have to finish the edges in the same manner. So here's our 3 cloths. Wait, let's just go back. There we go. Our 3 burp cloths that we've got here. And then I'll show you the ones that I did for the blog post. These are just little boy ones that I did. Well, they would work for both, really. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? So this one I used, and you can do, one more option is to do a zigzag stitch around the whole thing, right like that. If you like the way a zigzag stitch looks, or here's just a plain, and I just did a straight stitch on this one as well. So yeah, it's not showing me your comments, but maybe if I click on here, it'll show me. So yeah, the supplies that you'll need are in the blog post that's listed in the description. Make sure you share this so you can find it later. I will still throw it onto YouTube in case you are a YouTube person and want to be able to see it on YouTube. And that link will be in the blog post. The video will be in the bottom of the blog post. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope everybody has a nice, wonderful Veterans Day. And I'll be back on Monday with some more fun projects. Something else to make for the holidays. Aren't these cute? These are really, really fun. So again, all the supplies are in the blog post. Make sure you turn on notifications for live videos so you know the next time I'm live. And yeah, I think that's everything. So have a great day. Share your suggestions with me, guys, of what you want to make. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.